Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and today we're taking a look at GTA 5. Now specifically this is GTA 5 on PC, because this has just launched. I'm recording this just an hour after launch, and look at it. It's actually looking really nice. Now as far as this video goes, we already know about the merits of GTA itself. After all, we know about the chaotic fun that is GTA Online. We know about the extensive detail that is already implemented on the next-gen console versions. After all, I have been playing the PlayStation 4 version, and I might just drop in a comparison video in terms of actual detail in there. Now, this is going to be more of a port report style video. I'm going to be talking more about the actual PC specific options and stuff like that. So first thing first, if you are buying this game, whether you buy it on Steam or whether you get a non-Steam version, it doesn't matter because the game uses an external launcher. It requires a social club account as well. Previously, GTA on the console versions only required you to have a social club account if you wish to join crews and play GTA Online for some of the online specific features. However, GTA on the PC requires you to have an account in order to launch and indeed activate the game, so if you have purchased it on Steam, you still need to activate your key via the social club launcher. Now this is actually pretty easily done. You don't need to open an external browser or anything, it's all done within the launcher program, so it's quite convenient, I would say, but then it is also a separate launcher on its own regardless. Now, just looking at the floor textures here, actually, I've just noticed that this particular area, either the high-res textures have not loaded in yet, or it actually is pretty low-res. But look at the wall over here. I'm just looking at this wall right here. There is actually a decent amount of detail. It does actually look like concrete, although it is not as round as you would expect. Characters have a decent amount of detail, like this character model of Franklin right here, compared to the console version, seems to have a lot more detail on the face, and just standing in the sun, looking at the sun right here, you can see the wrinkles and stuff show up a lot more clearly. I suppose it could be a high resolution. After all, on the PlayStation it runs at, I believe it's 720p 30. This is running at 1080 60 on the PC, so definitely good frame rate and a good resolution. And before we get on to it, we're just going to have a look at the options here. Now, the graphics options, there are a lot of them. In fact, it does actually show you how much video memory it's using. I have 2 gigs available. The game is already using 1.4. So that's one thing to be aware of. It can switch between DirectX versions. I'm assuming this is also because DirectX 12 is going to be coming, so this could be something that you can switch between once that comes out, because we are going to be looking at 2 different generations of video cards there. Windowed borderless options, windowed and full screen are available. There are a lot of different resolution options, and you can switch which monitor it outputs to if you happen to run multiple monitors on the fly. There are control options with the with the menu, which I'll get onto in a moment. And there's different anti-aliasing. I'm actually going to switch this over to MSAA, because FXAA does look pretty awful. You can also change the population density. This, I believe, controls the amount of NPCs that you'll see on the roads, and it can also you can also change the variety of them, so this could affect how much video memory you're actually using. At the same time, we have a full host of texture options, shader options, particle options, motion blur, which I've actually switched all the way off because motion blur is quite disorientating, and of course tessellation. There are also advanced options. Let's just apply this. Let's see if that has killed my frame rate or not. It might just have done that. So MSAA with GTA 5 on my machine, not a good idea. Let's just apply that and turn that off. Okay, now let's have a look at the advanced options here. So we have a bunch of different resolution options, and we can actually change the detail pop-in when flying as well. So, of course, you might notice when you're up in the air, you do cover more ground much more quickly, so you will want to actually change how quickly that will pop in or pop out, in fact. So, distance scaling as well. So this, I believe, affects view distance and the level of detail at distance as well. So a lot of different graphics options right there, which is very good for PC. And, of course, we have keyboard and mouse. There are a lot of mouse options, which is quite nice to see, actually. I keep doing that. While we're talking about controls, now, mouse wheel in the menus. As much as I like mouse wheel in the menus, it works exactly as if you were using a analog stick or a D-pad on the consoles. It works exactly like that, which is kind of annoying, because when I switch between menus, I actually have to click on it and then I can use the mouse wheel, and I prefer to use the mouse wheel, but it doesn't seem to work so well, which is a little annoying. And of course we have key bindings, so let's just have a look at those. There are a lot of key bindings for PC keyboards, and all sorts of controls are available, and we even have online specific key bindings as well. All very nice here. It only allows you to change key bindings for keyboard, I believe. As it appears right here, this is for a 360 controller, and that seems to be pretty much fixed. Yes, it does look like that's fixed, and you can't actually change that. So, not ideal if you want to use a controller and you want to rebind the controls. I think you're kind of stuck with what you got. So, there are some problems there. Actually, the game looks much better with FXAA switched off. So here we are with the observatory. I'm going to go and have a look around GTA for a moment. So, damage modeling on vehicles seems to be on par with next-gen consoles. And in fact, the audio seems to be quite nice. There is a decent amount of it. There are a lot of in fact, there is even more music on the PC version than there was on the consoles. So, that's something there. Of course, I have switched it off because YouTube's Content ID system will probably screw me over. And I did not intend to do that, but I have done it regardless. So, here we go. And now you'd expect with GTA on PC, and this is what I've encountered with a lot of the older GTA titles, is that oh, that's in slow-mo there. I had encountered problems with controlling vehicles, mainly because the controls were, of course, set up for a controller, and I was using a keyboard, so you'd have the problem with steering being always on or always off. Not so much in GTA 5, though. It seems to be much smoother, and cars seem to be reasonably easy to control. Granted, it is still GTA physics, so occasionally you do encounter some odd effects, particularly with the physics, but for the most part, steering seems to be pretty good with the keyboard, better than I would have expected. So definitely controlling is pretty good. I still have yet to try the online features, but so far as I can tell, you can still transfer characters to the PC version, provided you've connected the same social club account. Whether or not this locks out your character from your previous machine, i.e. if I were to transfer from PS4 to PC, I'm not entirely sure whether that works as much as I would like it to. I believe you can transfer it, but it might actually remove the progress from the PlayStation version, and I don't want to really risk that just yet. I will check it out again to see if that actually does happen, but for the moment it doesn't appear to be something I want to try just yet. I will say, though, the lighting has been improved since the next-gen version. I'm seeing a lot more in terms of the light reflection and shadowing, and it seems to be much better detail as well, even on the vehicles. Now, of course, Franklin does not have any weapons, so we can't test out the shooting just yet. But just have a look at this. I mean, yes, there was grass, right, on the console versions. PlayStation 4 particularly had a lot of this grass density, but this seems to be even denser than the console versions. And just the way, like, if we just have a look at how it moves, you can see it was really well done, well put together. Of course, those flowers appear to be flat, so there is that. We have view options. We can go all the way out, and we have first person. And he does appear to be moving faster in first person. I don't know if that's true. It's a very low-res plant there. But of course, these are things in an open-world game, so I don't know if we can really fault it too much for that. After all, there are going to be thousands of these things everywhere. I mean, driving through it looks decent. And car interiors as well look pretty good. Of course, the condition of this vehicle is questionable. I have smashed all the glass in it, and I believe we're missing a door. But look at the gauges moving around as well, so that's quite nice there. And it appears that running at a higher resolution also means that the HUD elements are much smaller. So things like the map and the ammo counters and stuff, all of that it's very minimalist. It's all hidden away, and it's making use of the extra screen space in a really big way. So I've noticed, you know, I have a much clearer view of everything that's happening around me. So overall, it does seem to be pretty good. As far as PC ports go anyway, the controls aren't too janky. Like, at first I was going to fault it because the phone controls were a little bit strange, but... And yes, those are the radio controls. I accidentally turned that on. Hopefully that doesn't get matched. So... controlling the phone was a bit of a problem, but I've realized actually that you can accept and decline phone calls by simply hitting the left or right mouse button. So you can actually do that pretty easily while driving or doing something else. So pretty good. It was actually kind of annoying because Simeon was calling me constantly for the first 5 minutes of the game, so that is a problem. I think I've just murdered somebody. Oh, no, she's fine. And she's walking away even, so... running even, so... I think she'll be fine. So, overall, is it any good? Well, as far as a PC port goes, it looks good, it runs well. It is holding pretty steady at about 40 frames per second when I'm in the city. Gets to about 60 when I'm out in the wilderness, so it does run at a decent frame rate for the most part. Can't really fault it too much about the frame rate, mainly because of it being an open world game and a lot of things going on, so you will need a pretty decent machine to run this at full graphics, I will say that. But for the most part, even at a mid-range machine, which my machine at the moment unfortunately is, it still seems to be pretty good. Right. And of course NPC interaction is still the best I've seen in most out of most open world games. Graphics options are great as well, so overall as far as PC ports go, good. Well done, Rockstar. You've done an excellent job this time. And there you have it, folks. This has been Panzer taking a look at GTA 5 on PC. Now available on Steam or through the actual Rockstar Games website or from many other distributors for the price of $74.90 or your regional equivalent. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.